I was roaming around the forest of Antique Colasi, and I'm here looking for wild eagles or ospreys or hawks and stuff like that. Birds of prey, technically. So it's been hard because I don't know anyone in here, so I just, went by myself and started looking in rivers. Now along the way, I found this beautiful spot, and I figured that I should make a tutorial on how to take those smooth landscape, seascape photos where the water is smooth. So check this place that I'm looking at right now. So this is really an on-the-spot work, and actually happy. Like, this is like one of the great things that happens when you travel and do photography, is that there's a lot of things that you can photograph. Now, for landscape photos, you do need a tripod if you're trying to get that smooth water look. So what I'm going to be using is a wide-angle lens, but you can actually just use your kit lens, the 18 to 55 or so, the ones that's actually wide enough to do landscape photos like these. But I do have my own wide angle lens, so I'm just going to use that. There's a lot of birds in here. So currently using the 70D. I have the Tamron 70 to 300. I'm going to make a review on this in the future because there's not a lot of reviews on it on the internet, so I'm going to make my own. I'm going to plug in the 10 to 18 STM wide angle lens. Now I got this really for purposes of doing a video because this is an STM lens, but since it's also wide angle, I'm going to use this for this shot. I'm going to change my lens first. So if you're on a full frame camera, anything from 16 to 35 is good enough for photos like these. I've seen some people who have been using prime lenses like the 50mm or the 35mm and taking landscape photos, and they actually work. But I want to take like a really wide shot of the scenery here, so I'm going to use this one. I have a CPL filter plugged in so I can cut off any reflection on the water. Now, I actually recommend using ND filters. The ND filter that I ordered hasn't arrived yet, so I'm just gonna use this to stop some light because we have to be on a slow shutter speed in order to take photos like these. Or I recommend you just shoot around 5:30 p.m. here in the Philippines, around dawn, around sunset, so that the light's not a lot. So I'm just gonna set up my spot here. My settings is gonna be, I'm gonna expose first, so manual mode. 100 ISO, the lowest ISO you can get, and I'm just gonna expose here first on my meter. So I'm currently 1/5 on the shutter speed, and I'm going to take multiple shots and stitch them together later at Lightroom or Photoshop. So if you don't have an ND filter where you can open your sensor long enough, you can take multiple slow shutter photos and just blend them together. So I'm just gonna compose my shot here. I'm just gonna start doing it right now. Let's go. Guys need to know too is that you should set your drive mode or your shutter drive mode at 2-second timer so that there's no shake on the camera. This is on manual focus, and I turned off the stabilizer, which is right here. I turned that off, and I'm gonna start shooting right now. Okay, so I have my first shot now, and check this out. There we go. As you can see, the water is smooth because I'm shooting at a low shutter speed. It's 1/5 of a second, and at 16 f16 on the aperture. And I'm shooting at the lowest ISO that I can, so I can keep the exposure down low. So the CPL filter is helping me out, but I want more of this smoky effect. So I'm gonna take multiple photos and I'm going to stitch them together later at Photoshop or in the computer. So I'm really lucky that it's overcast right now, and it's actually just 9 a.m. in the morning, but there's no sunlight, so it's okay because it's overcast and it rained earlier. So it's a bit dark, so it's helping me right now and able to take a great photo in here. So this is just really exciting. I have to finish the Wellbird experience now, and I'm gonna see you later in the computer. So let's go, I'm gonna pack up now. That little dot right there is a kingfisher. I was looking for birds. I saw a kingfisher, so I went down here and I saw another spot, which is this one. So I'm gonna set up here and also take another photo of that. Once again, it is raining and I am enjoying this. So I need to go back to the house now because there's no point in going out and doing some wild bird photos in the rain. So I'll see you later. Rain is going strong. So I just got the files loaded up. I can check it here one by one, and before anything else, before I merge them together, I'm going to put up a preset on it, one of my presets actually, which is Nature Burst. This is what I usually use when it comes to taking photos in nature. It just improves the color and the exposure, and actually just turn it a little down, turn it down a little bit, down and clear. So I'm just gonna paste this into the entire project. Actually, I'm just gonna crop it first from my file. So there we go. I'm gonna copy this and synchronize it. Make sure I check the crop. I'm gonna select the entire thing, click synchronize, and synchronize. It's going to paste my settings on the entire. Now that we have all the photos selected, we're going to right click, edit in, open layers in Photoshop. It's going to take a while to load these photos. It depends on the specs of your computer. So mine's going to take a while. It's not that, fast. So this is the technique that I do if I don't have an ND filter and I want to take a long exposure, smooth water effect. So I found this technique from Tony and Chelsea Northrop. Shout out to them. They're a famous YouTuber when it comes to photography. So I found this technique from them and basically just sharing it to you guys. As we know, filters aren't cheap. I'm going to be using this technique. So it has loaded our files now. So just in case the photos are not aligned, actually mine is, I'm pretty sure is aligned, but there might be a chance where there's some wind and the tripod moved a little bit. So just to make sure that everything is tight, we're going to go to align these layers. So go to edit and auto align layers. So just click with auto and okay, it's now aligned. And as you can see, there's a little bit of transparent edges in here, so that's probably just because it has moved the photo. So we're just going to crop that in. So we're going to press C, 4x5, and the opposite actually. I'm going to scale this up a little bit here. Okay, so we got it cropped, and we're going to right click, convert to smart object, and after it has converted to smart object, it's going to actually compile all the photos into one. Okay, so once that is done, we're going to click on our photo, click on layer, and then smart objects, stack mode, and mean. Stack mode and mean. It's going to blend all those photos that was compiled into the smart object, and it's going to blend it, and so all those exposure that you took is going to be combined.
Now this is going to be a higher resolution of a photo because you have compiled a few ones, and you just have to actually multiply your settings with the amount. Oh, there you go. So as you remember, we have 1/5 of a second on that photo, and actually let me just open calculator so you guys can see. Now we have 8 photos selected, and each of them at 1/5 of a second. Now if you multiply 1/5, let's go 1.5 multiplied by 8, we have a 12-second exposure on this photo. And if you had a 100 ISO and divide that into 8, we have a 12 ISO on this photo. So correct me if I'm wrong with that calculation, but that is so far it. So this is a 12 ISO photo with a 12-second exposure. So look at that, it compiled everything, and you don't even have to buy an ND filter anymore. So just click save. So file save or Control S. It's going to save that file, and it's going to load that up automatically in your Lightroom, so you can just save it if you want to. Actually, just going to recrop this ad. Loads up, just close Photoshop, open Lightroom, and you're going to have your photo loaded there as TIF, so you can just export it. So as you can see, if we have a reference photo, this is the difference right here. And you can actually see the big difference of how smooth the one that's been blended compared to the one that's taken on the 1/5. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video, this vlog. This is actually my first in editing tutorial, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you try this out. Send me your photos at Mitchell Artworks so I can check out your works at the same time, and I hope this might help boost your landscape photography. So get out and enjoy. Till the next vlog, like, subscribe, share. See you guys.